What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. We got it. We got the info. We got some new characters, 11 new characters. We got an actual... Now, it wasn't a fight from beginning to end. It was most. I'd say it was probably 70-75% of a fight. But it really was everything I think I wanted. We'll see what you guys think, of course, in the comments. But I think they covered a lot of ground in terms of, you show the Game Awards trailer again. You show a fight, mostly. You show returning features. You show new features. You show a new trailer, which has some incredible characters I think made people very, very happy. You broke down the gameplay after the gameplay was shown, right? And you did all that in 13 minutes. Now you padded it, of course, with the trailer in the beginning. But no, I really think they did an incredible job, and I think the overwhelming takeaway is that people are excited. I can only go based off social media, and which is really all of us can go off of right now, but I really think this is, and I don't want to say dream game, right, because clearly this is meant to be, and they even say it, right, the producer says it, if this is like your first time, like they want to make it enjoyable. If this is the first time and getting somebody into it for the first time ever. If it's returning, well, you got returning features, but you also got some balancing and some changes and tweaks to make it better. They really are going for it in this kind of, well, they say it's like a continuation. I would look at it kind of as a soft reboot, though, right? Where it's been so long, you're bringing back so much, but you're adding to it. To me, that signals a reboot, but I guess that's not how they maybe internally look at it. So looking at, what we talked about yesterday in terms of predictions, we did get some new environments thanks to that trailer. We did get some new characters. So you got Super Trunks, you got Broly, you got Nappa, which is one of my personal favorites. Great to see him. And they just all looked so good. And you didn't get to spend too much time with those characters in that trailer, but it was enough. And I guess that's what the Vegeta versus Goku or Goku versus Vegeta battle was meant to be. So, some of the things that I noticed the thing that stood out to me was the speed. And they talked about that right when they broke it down. But just watching it in the beginning where there is no, narration and kind of going through clips, just the speed at which these two are moving. And then they talked about it where they've basically increased the movement speed to almost dash speed, right? So that's like the new thing, or that's one of the new things. It's just so much quicker. You knew they were going to end it on some sort of, you could tell they were building to that, right? So at the end with like the clash and just the way, to me, the environment stood out, the destructibility. Now, I will say, the one weakness, and it might be nitpicking, there was one weakness that I personally saw with it, with the destructibility, because it looked so freaking cool, and they made it a point where, beams were going through it, or they would, dash through it and whatnot. When there was, I think, two different instances, and I think both were Vegeta, when he would get hit with something, and it was a big impact, and he kind of bounced off the rocks, and it was towards the end. I remember that. And then the final one was when they did their clash, and Goku won, and then Vegeta kind of just slaps on the ground. Now, it's still epic, and it still looks really cool, and the impact was there, at least the initial impact. But when Vegeta's hitting things, because they focus so much on that destructibility of the environment and whatnot, again, the one where he kind of bounces off the rock and then slams on the ground, I would have liked a little bit more explosion. And you did see that in the trailer at the end. So I think to Nappa, or they had a couple different individuals, let's say, where their attack would make an impact on the ground, would make some sort of explosion and hit, and you would see things kind of burst up. So it's there, it just wasn't necessarily in what we saw of, again, at parts, because at other parts, the environmental, impact was absolutely there. But it just looks fun. It's why I'm trying to almost nitpick or focus on specific things like that. It's hard to convey the fun factor, because I can just tell you, somebody who, I like these games quite a bit, and I've talked about on my third channel, I'm going through them, and I can't wait to continue to go through them. I've played Budokai 1. To go from Budokai, 2002 was it? To go from that, to seeing this, I've played the games, but I haven't played them in a while, is unfreaking real, just how, again, the details are there. It looks like a legitimate anime. And you look at even some of the other anime games that are coming out. I watch Retro Rebound from Mr. Matty Plays. I watch his stuff. He's pretty good in terms of the covering of the newer anime stuff. Some of them are hit or miss, right? This really is, and it's why I caution myself to say the dream game, but I do feel it's fair to say that like a lot of hopes of Dragon Ball fans are here, and also maybe just like the anime community, right? Because like Bandai has done some good stuff, they've done some not great stuff. So this is supposed to kind of be their crown jewel, and that's a lot of pressure. But you have such a big cast that's only, again, now it's at, I think, 35. It's only going to get bigger. You have a lot of responsibility being in the franchise that you're in to take it to another level. And honestly, the gameplay that we saw, for me, it looks like it. It looks like you're in it. The smaller impacts of just like the basic fighting and the basic just moves that these characters have, like everything looks so good. It moves fast. The camera sometimes I think got a little bit confused, but it's I will say this in defense of the camera, it's dealing with a lot, right? You got like, this disappearing act of back and forth and back and forth. I would imagine that's difficult, for like rigging the camera in the system. I imagine that's hard, but I think it worked. I kind of liked a little bit of, it was a little motion-y. Like the camera would kind of have like a downward, like it was on the bottom, but it was like looking diagonal up. And it would kind of shake a little bit, like with the action. It felt real. It felt like almost the camera was like a real person, almost like filming it and trying to like follow it. I liked it. I liked the entire thing. I think, again, they accomplished quite a bit with what they showed, not just in the gameplay, but narrating the gameplay afterwards, the trailer at the end. I think they freaking nailed it. No date, but you know what? That's okay. They supplemented the date with other cool stuff. So we'll see the date eventually. Clearly, they're not done. They got a lot more characters to show, but to be honest with you, you're kind of good for me. Like you've shown enough. I mean, I'm obviously gonna keep like looking at what they give us, but I think they've shown an okay amount for sure, and enough to sell me at least on the initial idea. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.